the fish that we are going to be moving around today are in this 40-gallon tank here. They're going to look absolutely fantastic. Look at these little babies. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Very obviously here with my son. Today, we, i.e. me, are going to be moving some fish around between the fish room and some of my display tanks. Yes, I know, baby. I know. Cup. So I'm going to go ahead and get this little man back upstairs to his mom so I can start messing around with these fish. Now that my son is back upstairs with his mom, the fish that we are going to be moving around today are in this 40-gallon tank here. They're actually my rummy nose tetras. I think it's like 15 to maybe 25-ish or so. I forget, I lose count. But these guys are actually going upstairs into my 75-gallon display, the one that has like 100 plus cardinal tetras in it now. I know it's kind of heavily stocked in a sense, but cardinal tetras are small fish. The rummy noses aren't that much bigger, so should be okay going in there. It's going to look really, really cool to have this slightly bigger tetra in there with the silver body, with the red nose and stuff like that. So I'm really excited. So I'm going to go ahead, get everything that I need ready to catch these guys out. The tank is due for a water change, this one and the one upstairs actually, but we'll get to that one later. So yeah, we're going to grab everything we need to get these guys out of here. Everything here is acquired to start this whole process. I got my smaller hose to siphon out the bottom of this tank here, bigger hose to get the bulk of the water out, and this little mini tank to hold the fish while I catch them out. Now, funny story about this actually, I got this for free while I was at work. Somebody was throwing this out down in the city, and by the city I mean New York City. I work down there, and it was on their stoop. They had a sign free with a whole bunch of other stuff, and the fish keeper in me knew I had to have this as a little catch container for displaying some fish quickly for photography and video reasons. Obviously this is way too small for anything living. This is probably maybe a gallon. But it's going to work perfect for catching fish. So that is what I'm going to be using to hold the rummy noses while I catch them out of this 40. So let's go ahead and just start getting a lot of this maintenance nonsense out the way.
A few moments later.
Tank is now drained. I've got my little catch container here with some water, tank water in it. Now we're going to grab this big old net, start scooping around. Now I do have to be careful because in this tank I also have my dwarf neon rainbows as well as my Moselle cherry tetras, and I don't want to catch either of those. I don't want to move them over at least. The cherry Moselles are a breeding project, and so are the dwarf neon rainbows. So let's go ahead, start scooping some fish. Nose tetras have been caught out. I didn't have as many as I thought. I think there's maybe 15 in here or so. You can see there are some pretty big ones. Some of these are pushing 1.5 inches, I would guess, but they're gonna look absolutely fantastic in the 75-gallon upstairs. Now for the tank itself, it's not that messy. My Moselle tetras are still in there. My red laser cories, my L519 honeycomb plecos, my dwarf neons, and my flagtail pandas are in here, as well as my two L046 zebra plecos. They're still in here. I think I'm kind of debating maybe moving the dwarf neons into a smaller tank, maybe the 20-gallon, and then taking the parva rainbows that are in there and putting them here in this tank. But I'm not too sure yet. I don't really feel like doing that today. I have been looking in the tank like this to make sure I didn't miss any rummy noses, because the rummy noses and the dwarf neons look my son's throwing a tantrum. They look relatively similar from the top. I've caught some of the rainbows a couple of times, so I've been again just scoping out the tank like this. I think everybody's caught. All I see in here are again the rainbows, the Moselles, and cories and stuff. So we should be good to go. I'm going to rearrange some of these caves a little bit to make them a little bit closer. That way I can get my L519s to spawn, because they haven't spawned in a long time. I only ever got one spawn out of them, so I want to move things around and give them a little bit new territories to spawn in. And the tank is now filling up. We are filling it up fresh dechlorinated tap water from my water change system. Rummy noses are still here. I did move around some of the caves in here. Hopefully the L519 spawn, but I was looking around in the fish room, and I think there's one other fish that I want to move out of the fish room into my display tank upstairs. Reason being is this fish rack here specifically for breeding fish, and the fish that are in that in particular tank, I'm not spawning them just yet. Haven't really looked into it, so I figured why not just give them a really pretty home with a display tank. So I'm gonna give it some thought first before I start doing that, but as of right now, rummy noses are still here, tank is filling. Next clip, you're gonna see me upstairs with these guys getting ready to put them into the 75, so give me a minute. And we're upstairs. So I have the rummy noses here in the container. Very obviously, the 75-gallon lights aren't fully bright yet. It is relatively early in the morning. They're just starting to kick on and stuff, so I don't need to really temperature acclimate or anything. This is all the same tap water, so essentially I'm just gonna dump them into the water. Let me just prop up the camera for a better view. Ooh, my son is coughing. Camera is propped up on the side of the tank here. I'm gonna be dumping them into the top. Do not mind Miss Rachel in the background. My son needs to be distracted. But I'm gonna remove this lid, put that here on the table, and let's see, yep, okay, perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and just dump these rummy noses into the tank. Hopefully you guys can see them going in. That's just all water right now. And here go the fish. Oh, one stuck in the container. Pop right in. There we go. All right, and it doesn't look like anything happened in here. So I'm gonna give these guys a little time to adjust, and then I'll come back and record. Back in the fish room. Now we're gonna let those rummy noses kind of get a little used to being in that tank upstairs, because of course they're super stressed out. They got just dumped into a big old tank, so we're gonna let them acclimate. While they do that, I wanted to talk to you about the other fish that I was gonna put in the 75, which is actually in this 75. Those fish are my Nanostoma Senepa Super Reds. Again, I'm just not breeding these guys at the moment, and I could use this tank for some other fish. I do want to eventually breed these guys, but as of right now, I'm not. I want to focus on my Coreys, Plecos, and Rainbows first, and my Cherry Moselle Tetras, because those guys are definitely, they're probably on top of the list. But besides that, the Nanostomas are not the top of the list. They are on that list, but they're further down. So I figured, why not just give them a very nice, decently planted aquascaped aquarium instead of this kind of just bearish breeding setup tank. So I think that's going to be the next fish that I move in there today, actually. I'm going to go ahead and do it today because why not? So I'm still kind of debating it. There is one other fish in here as well that I got to move out of here. Let me show you what it is. Sorry for the glare, guys, but the other fish that's in this tank that I want to move, you may have just seen it scurry past. I have one Altum angelfish in here, right there. This is a little baby, so I actually picked these guys up. I picked up another group of about 20 Altum angel babies a few months back. I didn't record the process of it or anything, but I picked them up. And I sold off most of them, actually all of them. I sold 10 of them to a buddy of mine in one of my clubs, and the other 9 went to other people scattered throughout the city and stuff like that. This is the last one that I, for whatever reason, didn't sell. He's in this tank by itself, so I think I'm gonna just take this little guy and plop him into the 180 with my other Altum Angels, just so he has some friends. I feel kind of bad that he's just in here by himself, so I figured let's give him a bigger tank. So we're going to be moving out that Altum, and then again, the Nanostoma Senepa Super Reds. Let's see if my camera will focus here. There we go, look at that. Nice pretty little pencil fish, beautiful red coloration on them. So I think these guys will look and do very, very nice in the 75-gallon upstairs with the Cardinals and now the rummy noses. So let's drain this big old tank. It's gonna kind of suck catching these guys out because this is a bigger tank, and there's not many of them, so they'll probably be able to scurry away from me. relatively fat. Man, if I paid attention to what the actual camera and not the fish itself, I'd probably be a little bit better at this YouTube stuff. Yeah, I decided I'm putting these guys into my 75-gallon upstairs. So I'm gonna go ahead and drain this tank as far down as I can. And actually, there is something else in this tank. My super red bristlenose plecos actually spawned again after that whole ordeal with the weird sickness or whatever that I got that killed off most of my plecos. The super reds have spawned, so the male is on babies now. The eggs hatch and they're little wigglers and stuff now. They're probably 3-4 days after being hatched, so I want to get them out of there, put them into the hang-on breeder box that I have over there. I just want to move it to the front, but I'm going to do that after my water change, after I scoop everything out and stress everybody out in here. So yeah, that's another thing we're doing today in the fish room, I guess. Very clearly the tank is draining. While it's draining, I'm gonna go ahead and try to catch the Ultim Angel first and toss him into the 180. Just because once this gets a little too low, all this hornwort and stuff, and yes, I have hornwort in here again, probably gonna toss that too, but it's gonna get in the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and catch the Ultim, throw him into the 180. Not gonna show you guys that because you've seen me add Ultims into that tank like 3-4 times at this point. It's getting old. I am pretty sure I caught all of them out of there. I think there was only maybe 10 of them in there that I can remember catching. They are still here in the catch container down over there. Clearly this tank is destroyed. You can't tell, maybe you can tell, but the water is super mucky. There was a lot more mulm in the hornwort. I probably should have removed that before doing the water change, but it is what it is. You live and you learn. Tank is filling back up. Nanostoma super reds are down here in the catch container. So again, next clip will be upstairs. I lied to you. Before I go ahead and get the pencils upstairs, I'm gonna get the super red fry out of there and put them into the hang-on breeder box. See, it's cleaned off already. So let's get that done, and then I'll show you a close-up of the babies. Look at these little babies. So I'm pretty sure I got all of them out of the cave. The male was doing a really good job at kind of covering them in there because I was just in here messing around with the tank, so he was on guard. But I'm pretty sure I got a majority of them in the container here. They do still have their eggs, their egg sacs, their yolk sacs, whatever it is. So no food for these guys for a little bit, but tank is still filling. So now on the next clip, you'll see me upstairs. I did just want to go ahead and show you guys some of the rummy noses in the 75 before I stretch these guys out even more and dump in the nanostomas. They're looking fantastic, already colored up. You can see them in the mix with the cardinals back there. Just looking fantastic. I'll try to get some B-roll later on when they're all comfortable, but as of right now, let's toss the nanostomas in here. And we're back with the same angle as before from the side of the tank. I'm gonna go ahead and take the nanostomas and do the same, just dump them straight in to the tank. Again, hopefully you guys can see. And ready, here comes some, oops, wrong water, here goes some fish. There we go, beautiful. U-T-O. Spilled some water, that's okay. Fish are in there. This tank is now looking like a proper community tank with the multiple fish in there. Completely realized I forgot to turn on my mic in the last clip, so sorry about the audio in there, but very clearly in front of the 75-gallon with the little man again. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video there. I'll shoot some B-roll afterwards once the fish are a little bit more comfortable, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash the like button, comment down below. Let me know what you think of my 75-gallon now that I've got the cardinals, the rummies, and the nanostomas in there. I think this tank is coming together beautifully. I do still kind of want a centerpiece fish in here, maybe just one. I might do that red shoulder that I have. Don't touch the mic, baby. Yeah. I might just go ahead and put the red shoulder Manica Peru that I have into this tank, but I'm not too sure yet. You guys let me know down below. Again, as always, thank you for watching. Wouldn't be here without you guys, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Say bye, baby. Bye-bye. Let's just, there we go. Bye-bye. Yeah, there we go. That means bye. Catch you guys in the next one.